So I thought I'd provide a little update to this DeGraw speaker kit that I made a video about like about a month ago now. Just other things been going on and finally got around to it. So I ended up designing a 3D printed 5 1/4 inch drive bay insert for the speakers, as you can see here. And I'll be putting this on Thingiverse for anyone that wants to consider printing it out for themselves later. But we've got our 2 speakers in there, put in like this with the speakers pointed toward the outside. And as I showed in the previous video, and as I suspected when I built this, that only the speakers were going to be able to fit in here. The amplifier, which I would have liked to have in the middle, there's just simply not enough room to have the speakers and the amplifier together. But I do have a method for how I'm going to install the amplifier in this Packard Bell tower case, which is what I had this whole kit designed for. So basically the 5 1/4 mount here, the speakers are recessed inside and they are held in with number 6 size screws, machine screws with nuts on the back side. And it was designed so that it basically just snaps into the drive bay, which is why it's a little bit recessed in there, because the snaps are holding it onto the case here. So when we come up, bring the camera down here so we can see we have our amplifier there as before, so it's all currently wired up. Now let me show you what I did with the inputs. Bring this off to the side. So in this Packard Bell we have an Aztech sound card inside, and I've got the audio input, our left and right audio inputs, coming off the line out of the card there. Now this card originally had the header connections there, but they had no pins on them, so they were basically just closed off with solder. So I had to open those up and solder in a set of header pins, both for the microphone and the line out, to make it work. So I soldered those in and then grabbed a cable, so I didn't have to make one. I just had a cable like this already, just rearranged the pins on it, hooked it up, and that provides the audio out from the Aztech card to our little 5-volt amplifier here. And of course we have our speaker connections on the side there, and then our 5-volt input in the middle here. Now, I'm still kind of figuring this out preliminarily here, because right now the power is the one thing I have to figure out on it, because I was originally trying this with 5-volt power off the wavetable header on the Aztech card, but I found that it's not supplying enough current to the amplifier, and what that ends up causing is distorted audio. It sounds kind of gnarly and distorted. So I'm testing it with the power supply, and the power supply with it works just fine. So let me turn the power supply on. So power supply is on. Let's zoom out here. Come back down to our speakers, and let's just play something like the Microsoft sound. So you hear the sound plays nice there, and I've got it set at about the 50% volume range on the amplifier. For the audio card, I have to have the volume turned all the way up. So that's what I'm going to have with that. We can also play some MIDI files like Passport MIDI. We can come over here to the computer and you can see that. So we're playing it there. Get a pin and get it around here. And we should be able to manipulate the volume pretty easily. So it fits out some pretty decent amplitude there. Just showing up the volume control works. So the speakers are working pretty well. So basically the speaker part of it is done. We just have to figure out how we're going to do the installation of the amplifier. Now what I plan to use, if I can zoom it on it here, is the way Packard Bell has these cases designed is they have these little expansions in the back right here. The top is for an additional 9-pin serial port and the bottom is for an optional modem that was used on older mainboards. What I'm planning to do is make a 3D printout for the amplifier, and then we'll put it on that bottom there where a modem would usually be. And that way I can secure the amplifier to that, install it there, and then put a little 3D printed knob on it in there. Basically the back side of the case there will allow us to control the volume and also turn on and off the front speakers here. So that's how I plan to do the installation of the amplifier on this. And of course we'll have to figure out the 5-volt power as well. Probably have to come off the power supply here directly off of one of the ATX power connections, because I don't think I can get any 5-volt power reliably off of the board or any of the expansion cards to operate the amplifier. So that's the update that I wanted to present on the DeGraw do-it-yourself speaker kit and what I've done with it for this Packard Bell PC. That's a little loud still. That's a little tighter. A little bit of Canyon MIDI just because.